So one of the questions that I'm asked really often is about how I manage to camp while I'm touring. It's a very valid question because it is a bit challenging to do. And so I thought I'd make this video to talk to you guys about how I go about camping while I'm on a motorcycle tour. The first thing, of course, is that you need to have a tent. I use this one, a 2-person tent from Decathlon. I'll pop a link in the description below. I use a 2-person tent because there is me and there is my luggage, and I need to have space to put all of my luggage into my tent. I don't leave anything outside on the bike or otherwise. So a 2-person tent, according to me, is the bare minimum you should have to be comfortable. I think the first question is, how do you find a place to camp? That is the most difficult part of this entire process, right? If you're trekking, then finding a place to camp is a lot easier because camping is usually inherently a part of trekking, and you have designated camp spots where people camp whenever they do that trek. But when you're touring or you're traveling and you're on the highway, you don't really have too many options. It's very, very rare to find a designated camping spot in India. So most often you need to be a bit innovative but safe as well. So what I do is that I never ever just pitch my tent in a random place. Because if you pitch your tent in a random place, that means nobody there knows who you are. Nobody knows what a tent is suddenly doing in the middle of some piece of land. And 2 is because of safety. Again, if you're in a random place, you don't really know anything about that place itself. And chances are that in terms of people and in terms of wildlife, insects, whatever it may be, you never know. There are times when I've seen people who've pitched their tents on a beach, and then the tide goes up during the night and suddenly you have water in your tent. So it's not safe to do something like that in a place that you are not familiar with, which is why I entirely avoid pitching my tent without talking to somebody first. So that's the thing, you need to talk to somebody. You're traveling to a place that you've never been to before, and the best way to get to know something about that place is by talking to people. Hi guys, we've got some company in the vlog. I don't know their names, but they're really sweet. Are you guys joining the vlog? Yeah? Come here. No? Okay. You go that side. So normally, I never go up to someone and just directly ask them whether I can camp. Because most people that you meet in a small village or somewhere else aren't familiar with the idea of camping itself. So when you go up to them and you say, suddenly, can I pitch my tent here? They are a little bit hesitant about it and less likely to say yes. So what I like to do is to reach the town where I'm planning to stay a little bit early. Then if there's a tourist bungalow or there is a government property that I can find, or if there's like an open piece of land that I spot somewhere, I try to go to that place and I talk to the people there. I ask them about the local accommodation options available, and we keep talking. We talk about where I'm from, what's happening, there is conversation, and eventually I tell them that, I'm on a budget trip. I have my tent and everything with me. I normally do camp wherever I can. So if they could help me find a place to camp, that would be absolutely fantastic. When you do it that way, you're much more likely to actually find a place to camp. And people are usually willing to let you camp on their property. Not in cities, not inside village houses. In my experience, it's usually either at a government property or on meadows or something that is taken care of by shepherds or somebody local over there. Those are the places that you're likely to get permission. Now, in some cases, you will find people who are willing to allow you to camp for free. But if you're at a tourist bungalow or any place that has a caretaker or something of that sort, they'll usually charge you a nominal amount, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, something of that sort, to allow you to pitch your tent, which works out okay, because the other reason why I like to find places like these is so that I have my basic facilities. Normally, if you have some sort of inhabitation, then you might have a power source to charge your devices. You may have a washroom for, well, washroom stuff, because that's the other thing that everybody wants to know. How do you manage that? So if you go about your camping like this, if you try to find a place where there are people, you get their permission, and then you camp, chances are that you'll have your basic facilities. You can have a bath, you can do other things. But there will also obviously be times when you don't have those facilities, and then you do what you do when you live in the wild. That's the answer to that question, because I get asked that question so many times. The answer is just that. If there is no facility, you use the wild. That's it. That's the waterproofing part, and then this is the part that makes sure that no bugs get in. Always make sure that you keep your tent zipped up and closed, even if you're just going out for a few minutes. Hi, do you like the tent? All right. And I guess the last thing that we need to talk about is what I carry to camp. So I have this tent, this 2-man tent. Like I said, because luggage goes on one side and I sleep on the other side. I have a yoga mat that I place inside on this, which becomes my base mat. So it's a sort of padding between the ground and me. So even if I'm sleeping on a hard surface, I don't feel things poking me through it. And it also sort of keeps you a little bit more warm, and the cold from the ground doesn't transfer towards you. I put a sleeping bag on top of that, which serves as a cushy mattress and also as a bed sheet, because you can just tuck yourself inside it. And that's about all I carry. I have a camping stool as well, which I use to sit outside. But that's all my camping gear is, the basic camping gear. There will be some accessories. I'll talk about those things separately in another video. But that's all my camping gear is. I think I've shared the basics of what you guys need to know to be able to camp while on tour. We've spoken about the gear that I use, we've spoken about how I find places, and also about the things that I bear in mind to try and minimize the risk associated with the experience itself. It's almost never comfortable. It is always adventurous. It is sometimes fun. That's how I would summarize it. So there are times when you will do it and then you will just be like, why am I doing this? Why couldn't I have just taken a room and stayed? I would have been so comfortable and so sorted. And then there will be times when you wake up and you open your tent and your mind will be blown. So if it's something that you like, if it's something that you think you would want to do, then I hope you found this video useful. And if you have any questions, if you think that there's something more that you want to know, just leave a comment below so that I can get back to you if that is something that I have the information to answer. And also, of course, if you have another way of going about this process, share that as well. It's always interesting for me to learn the different ways in which other people go about doing this. These are all things that I've sort of figured out by doing myself. So I have a system, but I know that several other people have their own systems. So I love to learn about that as well. So if you know something, you want to share something, do that in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.